Niles, I would shave my head for you. A gesture which becomes less significant with each passing year.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest comebacks on sitcoms.
White, you're a kiss ass. Boom, roasted.
For this list, we'll be looking at the sharpest and most hilarious retorts from characters on comedic shows. Who do you think is the snarkiest sitcom character of all time? Let the debate begin in the comments below. Number 10. Sheldon Gets Judgy, The Big Bang Theory. Dr. Sheldon Cooper couldn't exactly be called subtle. He may not always be able to read social cues, but he can definitely be counted on to speak his mind.
Would you consider naming it the Cooper-Nowitzki theorem?
Who's Nowitzki?
I'm Nowitzki.
Oh, you want me to share credit?
Uh-huh.
Get out.
He often says what everyone else is thinking, but is too afraid to say. When Sheldon is forced to go to court for a traffic ticket, he brings his attitude right along with him. A judge who gets snarky about his qualifications finds the genius theoretical physicist come right back with a zinger of his own.
Dr. Sheldon Cooper appearing in pro se, that is to say, representing himself.
I know what it means. I went to law school.
And yet you wound up in traffic court.
Whether Sheldon means to or not, he consistently delivers hilarious one-liners.
No, I'm following the law. I'm ignoring you.
Really? I would point out that I am at the top of my profession while you preside over the kiddie table of yours.
Number 9. Eric Sets Himself Up, That 70s Show. Red Foreman is a tough, American-loving, attitude-hating, no-nonsense father. And he takes a tough love approach to his parenting style. He's been known to call Eric or his friends a dumbass for basically any reason at any time.
Son, you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
So we would think the youngest Foreman would be the last person trying to earn his father's wrath. But when Eric arrives home from a date with Donna and fails to pull the car all the way into the garage, his father notices.
You know, it's amazing how you always manage to pull the car right up to the garage, but not actually into it.
His attempt to downplay the situation leaves him wide open for insult. And of course, Red has a crass reply ready to go.
Takes a keen eye and a sure foot.
How would you like your keen eye to watch my sure foot kick your smart ass?
We can't help but love their odd dynamic. Number 8. A tight sweater for everyone. Community. As a formerly super successful lawyer, Jeff Winger has made himself known as someone with a bit of a superiority complex.
I think my value as a teacher is to teach you how to learn.
I think you're telling us we should teach ourselves.
I don't think you're going to learn if I tell you how to think.
I think if you tell us what you think, then we'll learn that.
I thought you should break into groups, but you failed to learn that, so your theory is invalid.
He thinks he's better than pretty much everyone around him and wants them all to know by insulting everyone at every opportunity.
When did you even have time to do that? You're pathological.
It's too late for flattery.
But he met his match when Annie returned his insult with, well, his insult mirrored back at him.
Gee, you're right, Annie. It's not personal. I mean, it's not like people really like you. You're just a good grade in a tight sweater.
Well, you're just a bad grade in a tight sweater.
The childhood phrase, "I'm rubber, you're glue," comes to mind with this one. While Annie was no newbie to Jeff's insults at this point, she just couldn't let this one slide. And we love her for it. Number 7. Laura is reminded of Urkel. Family Matters. Steve Urkel's head-over-heels crush for Laura Winslow went beyond just liking. He was infatuated with her. We're talking years-long, full-blown love.
We can make each other's dreams come true with a kiss. Steve, did you eat that moldy cheese?
But she was always quick to stop his attempts at winning her over. One of the best examples came when Urkel asked her about a trip. In turn, she said it was mainly the bugs that reminded her of him.
Hi, Laura, my little sweet potato. Did you think of me while you guys were camping?
Yeah, every time I use the bug spray.
Steve naturally takes it in stride and makes the moment all the funnier. Though they don't seem compatible at first, they make the sweetest duo later on.
Just love me, Laura. Love me like I love you.
Come here.
Luckily, their eventual relationship didn't stop all of the snark. Number 6. Leslie Doesn't Surrender. Parks and Recreation. Mixing business with relationships can make things messy. Leslie Knope and Ben Wyatt learned this lesson the hard way. In the midst of a breakup, the duo try to take part in leading a model UN club session. What should be a fun activity gets out of hand pretty quickly when Leslie ultimately declares war on Ben.
Due to a recent betrayal, my homeland, the great state of Denmark, has officially decided to declare war on Peru. Scandinavian brothers, on my signal, unleash hell!
When he tried to get her to wave the flag of surrender, she told him she would only be waving one thing.
Oh, no one wants your dirty underwear back.
It's not dirty underwear. It's a white flag, and you may as well start waving it right now,
The only
Leslie.
thing I will be waving is your decapitated head on a stick in front of your weeping mother.
We think the awkward moment of silence from the crowd that followed pretty much spoke for all of us. We're thankful this hilariously over-the-top insult also brought Leslie back to earth.
You've ruined my favorite club. Thanks a lot.
Did we win? I think we won. What were we trying to do? I learned so much today.
Number 5, Chandler Wins With Logic. Friends. Let's be honest, when it comes to Friends, most bad things can be blamed squarely on Ross, right?
You can't play bagpipes at the wedding.
How did you know about that?
We heard you play all the way from your apartment.
Were you the ones who called the cops?
We bet most people would agree that the one time he learned to play the bagpipes for the Gellerbing wedding was one of the worst things he ever attempted.
You cannot play at our wedding. I mean, everyone will leave. I mean, come on, that is just noise. It's not even a song.
Monica thought she could blame this musical nightmare on Chandler's heritage, but the groom is quick to remind his bride of the only reason Ross is involved at all.
Why is your family Scottish?
Why is your family Ross?
While Monica is pretty good at winning most arguments, she truly could not compete with Chandler's comedic timing here. Number 4, Lucille is never bested. Arrested Development. Since each member of the Bluth family has a distinct and often abrasive personality, they're constantly sniping at each other.
Job is unhappy.
Again? I tried to include him. I gave him a job.
You gave him a letter to mail.
Don't tell me that was too much for him.
No, Michael. He mailed the letter. That's not the point.
Standing at the top of the snark pyramid is their matriarch, Lucille. One of her best displays comes when she goes out to dinner with her daughter, Lindsay. This meal encourages Lucille to make cutting comments about her child's eating habits.
Did you enjoy your meal, Mom? You drank it fast enough.
Not as much as you enjoyed yours. You want your belt to buckle, not your chair.
Although Lindsay tries to make snide comments back to her, her mom just points out how much better she is at insults.
You might want to let that fire go out before you stick your face in it.
Oh, that's funny, because I was going to say you might want to lean away from that fire since you're soaked in alcohol.
Mine was better.
That's probably the most Lucille thing we have ever heard. While having a mom like that can't be easy, it's hard not to love her sharp comebacks. Number 3, Holt Claps Back, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's hard to believe that someone who takes everything so seriously can be so hilarious.
Drum roll, please. That's your drum roll.
When a tempo isn't specified, any reasonable person would default to lento.
But when it comes to Madeline Wunsch, Ray Holt might as well be a professional comedian. Since the pair of cops have history going all the way back to their detective days, every one of their standoffs is personal.
So, here's how I see this going down. You plead for your job back, I refuse, you start weeping like a war widow. Does that sound about right?
Don't count your gross fish babies before they've hatched, Madeline.
One of the funniest verbal spats came in the episode where Wunsch schemes to get Holt moved out of his captain position through a promotion. During one of their encounters, the frenemies turned full-on enemies traded harsh barbs.
I'm sure you'd like to take some weight off your cloven hooves.
Calling me the devil? How original, Raymond.
Actually, I was calling you a goat. You goat.
Although Holt temporarily loses the battle for his job, the goat-themed jab he made ensures he was the definite winner of this interaction. Number 2, George Goes to the Jerk Store, Seinfeld. George Costanza's neurotic, underdog personality is a large part of what solidifies him as one of the most beloved characters in sitcom history. His weird habits and disdain for work make him so relatable. One of his best carefree moves saw him bring a whole bowl of cocktail shrimp to the conference table. In a meeting, his coworker calls out his odd behavior.
Let's see how many I can fit in my mouth.
You know, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
George's decision to call him a jerk gave us one of the show's most memorable insults.
Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
What's the difference? You're their all-time bestseller.
But when that doesn't have the intended impact, George takes things a little too far to give us another hilariously awkward moment.
Yeah? had sex with your wife.
Would it really be a Costanza moment if he hadn't taken it too far? We don't think so.
His wife is in a coma.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Michael retaliates. The Office. In a bold move to try and let his office workers vent their frustrations, Michael Scott invites his coworkers to roast him in a public event. But the plan goes a little too well.
What I hate about you, you really suck as a ball. You're the loosiest, jerkiest, and you're dumber than applesauce.
After being absolutely obliterated by insults, he seemed too rattled to fire back. However, he eventually returned to work in blazing glory to roast each and every member of the office. His burns managed to target each and every one of his coworkers with pinpoint accuracy.
Jim, you're 6'11", and you weigh 90 pounds. Gumby has a better body than you. Boom, roasted. Dwight, you're a kiss ass. Boom, roasted. Pam, you failed art school. Boom, roasted.
Thanks to Steve Carell's expert delivery, each insult becomes funnier than the last. Michael Scott's rapid-fire retorts made for one of the best comeback scenes in sitcom history.
Angela, where's Angela? Well, there you are. I didn't see you behind that grain of rice. Boom, roasted. Stanley, you crush your wife during sex and your heart sucks. Boom, roasted.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.